What if your entire life could change? Not through pain or perfection, but through one simple, consistent choice. What if the future you long for is just waiting for you to say, "Today I begin"? This isn't motivation. It's a quiet revolution, and it begins right now, inside you. You are one daily choice away from a new life. It may sound simple, perhaps even too simple, but simplicity has its own power, a quiet resilience that is often overlooked amidst the noise of grand plans and sweeping resolutions. Consider for a moment the essence of transformation. We often imagine it as this colossal event, a thunderous moment when everything changes, the clouds part, and we are remade. Yet, lasting transformation rarely announces itself with fanfare. Instead, it happens in those unremarkable moments where, with quiet determination, one small choice stacks upon another until a new foundation is built beneath us. Imagine waking up in the morning. The sun may not even have fully risen, and the world is still, suspended between dreams and reality. In that moment, before you reach for your phone or stumble into your routines, you stand at a crossroads familiar to us all. What will you choose to do with today? It's here, in this space between yesterday and tomorrow, that the true machinery of change grinds to life. Every new habit, every goal, every change we desire begins with a single decision. Not the grand, sweeping decision that is shouted from rooftops, but the quiet, private ones. To get up when the alarm rings, to drink water instead of soda, to offer a kind word rather than a criticism, to write a single paragraph, to save a small amount of money. Each daily act, however insignificant it may seem, ripples forward and onward, combining with the choices of the next day and the one after, until they become the current that carries you somewhere new. Consider the stories of those who have transformed their lives. It's tempting to focus on their achievements, the best-selling author, the athlete, the entrepreneur. But if you could peer behind the curtain, you'd discover a pattern. They made a single choice each day. To write one page, to run 1 mile, to reach out to one person, to take one step forward, even when it felt like a crawl. They resisted the urge to be overwhelmed by the enormity of their ambitions and instead committed only to the next decision, the next action, the next moment. Ask yourself, what is the one choice you could make today to move you toward the life you want? Your answer doesn't need to be dramatic. In fact, it's better if it's not. Small choices are less threatening. They slip past your defenses. They don't stir the old anxieties or trigger the self-doubt that sometimes comes with chasing something bigger. They simply ask you to do one small thing, then another, and another, until these choices become habits, and these habits become your life. Perhaps your new life starts with choosing to wake up half an hour earlier, granting yourself the space to think, read, or exercise. Maybe it's choosing to spend 10 minutes planning your day instead of letting it happen to you by accident. Maybe it's reaching out to a friend, offering forgiveness, or saying yes to an opportunity that scares you just a little. Every improvement, every change, every transformation, no matter how grand, began with a moment like this. When you look at those who seem to have it all together, remember that what you're seeing is the result of hundreds, even thousands, of small, daily, often boring, or difficult choices. You see the highlight reel. You don't see the day they did the thing they didn't want to do, or the morning they got up when every part of their body and mind protested. You don't see the accumulation of micro efforts and mini courage, the power of showing up one more time. Today you stand on the threshold of possibility. There is no barrier so high, no dream so distant that cannot be bridged with a series of deliberate, consistent daily actions. The key is consistency, perseverance, the discipline to make the right choice, even when you don't feel like it, especially when you don't feel like it, because you know it leads somewhere better. But what of setbacks? What of the days when you falter, when you make the wrong choice, when you slip back into old patterns? Here too, you have the power of a new choice. Every sunrise brings with it a reset, a do-over, a new chance to start again. You are never just one moment away from failure. You're always one moment away from getting back on track. Forgiveness, especially self-forgiveness, is the grease that keeps the wheels turning. Rather than letting a single misstep define your trajectory, you can simply begin again, as many times as it takes. Think of your life as a book. Each day is one page, each moment a line. You don't need to write the whole story today. You don't need to leap to the ending. You only need to write this page, this sentence, this word. Over time, something amazing happens. The story unfolds, character develops, plot thickens, possibilities emerge. And it all begins and continues with choice. Habits are the compound interest of self-improvement. Just as money multiplies through compound interest, the effects of your habits multiply as you repeat them day after day. A small change, if repeated consistently, will compound into extraordinary results. If you make a 1% improvement every day, you'll be 37 times better by the end of the year. The same is true in the opposite direction. A 1% slip every day, and you'll find yourself in a place you never intended to be. So, what do you want your life to look like in a month, a year, a decade? No matter how ambitious your answer is, the path begins at your feet, in this single, ordinary, extraordinary day. Decide to move forward, even by the smallest margin. Decide to invest in your mind, your relationships, your health, or your dreams. Decide to turn off the distractions, to say no to what doesn't serve you, yes to what does. If you want to be a writer, write something today. Just a paragraph, just a few sentences. Do it again tomorrow and the day after. If you want to be healthier, take a walk today. Swap one unhealthy food for a nutritious one. If you want to save money, skip one purchase, put $1 away. If you want stronger relationships, send a message, make a call, express appreciation. Each act counts. Remember, at first, doing the right thing might feel awkward, foreign, or futile. You won't always see the results immediately. Seeds take time to grow. But over days and weeks, patterns emerge, routines solidify, the unfamiliar becomes familiar. Momentum builds, and with it, your confidence. What separates those who change their lives from those who only wish for change is not talent, luck, or circumstance. It is daily action, however small, taken consistently over time. This is empowering. It means you don't need to wait for inspiration or permission. You don't need to orchestrate a perfect moment. The imperfect, ordinary moments are enough. Life is a series of choices. Not all of them are under your control, but many are. The attitude with which you greet each day, the people you choose to spend time with, the content you consume, the thoughts you entertain, these are yours to shape. You can't control the wind, but you can adjust your sails. If you feel overwhelmed by the gap between where you are and where you want to be, try this. Shrink your focus. Ask, what is the next right thing I can do? Then do just that, without worrying about the next 10 steps. When that is done, ask again. Let your life be built on a steady progression of next right things. Understand that discipline, rather than motivation, is what carries you forward. Motivation ebbs and flows, flaring in moments of inspiration, but fading just as quickly. Discipline is the sturdy bridge that carries you over the chasm of discouragement. Discipline is the muscle you build, rep by rep, choice by choice. Sometimes your daily choice might be to rest, to take care of your mental health, to draw a boundary, to say no. Not every productive day is busy. Not every wise choice is visible. Self-care is as essential to progress as effort. Progress isn't always linear. Some days you surge forward, others you stumble. But every choice, whether it ends in triumph or setback, teaches you something. You gather wisdom, resilience, humility. You learn what works and what doesn't. You gain not just success, but perspective. In the end, this is the secret. You are one daily choice away from a new life, over and over. It's never too late to start, never too late to begin again, never too late to become the kind of person you aspire to be. Your life is not fixed, not set in stone. It is a canvas, updated daily, a story rewritten with every choice you make. Let this be the day you begin, not to overhaul your entire life in one swoop, but to make one decision that moves you closer to who you want to be. Stand tall in the knowledge that all great journeys begin with a single step taken in the direction of hope. As time passes, you'll find that your choices begin to gather weight and momentum. One healthy meal turns into a string of them. One early morning walk becomes a habit. One page written gives way to chapters. One kind act leads to a more compassionate heart. You become, through the repetition of simple, consistent choices, the architect of your own remarkable transformation. Whenever doubt creeps in, whispering that your efforts are too small, too slow, or insignificant, remember, the tallest skyscrapers are built one brick at a time. The grandest symphonies are composed one note at a time. The greatest journeys unfold one step at a time, and every single step matters. Yours do too. So what will your choice be today? How will you honor the promise of this moment, the possibility that lies waiting in your hands? Pick one thing, just one, no matter how small. Make that choice. Make it again tomorrow. And understand, with the quiet certainty of those who go on to achieve great things, that you are, always, only one daily choice away from a new life. As the days pass, let your choices align more and more with the person you're becoming. Let your actions reflect your hopes rather than your fears. Celebrate the small wins, the day you kept your promise to yourself, even when nobody else was watching. Smile at your reflection, knowing that beneath the surface, real change is brewing. Trust in the process. Allow yourself to be surprised by the power of cumulative effort. One day you'll look back and see the distance you've traveled, the person you've become, and realize with a quiet sense of wonder that it all began and continued with a series of simple, daily choices. A journey of 1,000 miles, made one step at a time. A new life, built one day at a time, one choice at a time, with today as your first step. Now, take a deep breath and look around you. No matter your age, your past, your circumstances, you have this moment. The door stands open, waiting for you to step through. All it takes is one daily choice. Your new life is waiting. Will you begin today? If this video spoke to you, if it whispered something your soul needed to hear, don't keep it to yourself. Share this with someone you love. Leave a comment. My daily choice is, and if you'd like more stories like this, quiet, honest, and real, subscribe to this channel. I'll be here every day, just like you.